Tensions across West Asia are continuing to escalate as Iran expands its military strikes, targeting multiple countries in the region. Iran's Revolutionary Guards have confirmed that they launched a fresh wave of missile and drone strikes targeting Israel, along with military bases hosting US forces in Kuwait, Jordan and Bahrain. On Tuesday night, Tehran claims that key targets inside Israel were hit, referring to them as locations within occupied territories. The latest escalation comes after Iran issued a strong warning, saying it would carry out heavy missile and drone attacks if Israel continues its military actions against civilians in Lebanon and Palestine. On the ground in Israel, the impact has been significant. Emergency services reported multiple injuries after missiles struck central areas. At least 12 people were reported injured. Israel said Iran's strike involved the use of cluster munitions, which spread multiple sub-munitions over a wider area.
Following the latest barrage, we were reported to have between 6 and 8 scenes in the station sector. We arrived at all of the scenes. In all of them, we took control, with confirmation that we have no severe casualties. All buildings were cleared. The bomb disposal units are currently checking the scenes and clearing them. Upon completion, we will transfer further handling to the local authorities.
In Kuwait, air defences were activated after Iranian missiles and drones targeted key locations, including the country's main international airport. Authorities confirmed that a fuel tank was hit, triggering a fire. However, damage was reported to be limited and no casualties were confirmed. Kuwaiti forces intercepted several drones while firefighters worked to contain the blaze at the airport. In Bahrain, air raid sirens were triggered, causing public alarm. And in Jordan, falling shrapnel was reported near the capital, Amman. Saudi Arabia also reported intercepting multiple drones in its eastern region, signalling how widespread Iran's offensive has become. Iran also released visuals of its military operations, with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps sharing video of a missile launch during its latest strikes on Israel. Iran has also accused the US and Israel of targeting its Bushehr nuclear power plant. Tehran said a projectile landed within the facility. Meanwhile, Lebanon-based armed group Hezbollah warned that it will fight any attempt by Israel to occupy southern Lebanon. The Iran-backed group called it an existential threat to the country.
Now, we are facing Israeli aggression. We are in a defensive situation. The resistance fighters are battling in that area to prevent Israel from achieving this objective. This poses an existential threat to Lebanon as a state and to its geographically defined borders recognized internationally. Therefore, we have no choice but to confront this aggression and cling to the land.
And at the United Nations, the Israeli ambassador warned that Iran is developing long-range missiles. He said they are capable of, quote-unquote, striking the heart of the US.
Over the weekend, the Iranian regime launched missiles nearly 4,000 kilometers toward Diego Garcia, a remote island in the Indian Ocean that hosts a major joint US-UK military base. You can look at the map. You can see the range of the Iranian ballistic missiles today. They can reach Paris. It reaches London, Athens, Copenhagen, Riga. It reaches deep into Europe, 4,000 kilometers, double the range they claimed. And if it has doubled once, it can double again, from 4,000 to 8,000 kilometers. That would make it capable of striking the heart of the US.
Meanwhile, at a major energy conference in Houston, top oil executives and energy ministers gathered to discuss the fallout of the US-Israel war with Iran.
I'm concerned about what's happening in Iran. I am concerned about its impact on the human impact that it will have on rising prices, on eventually its impact on fertilizers and crops, and so I'm concerned, and I hope that it's resolved soon.
Major airlines have suspended or reduced flights across the Gulf as the risk of further attacks and fuel disruptions grow. With multiple nations now directly or indirectly involved, the situation remains extremely volatile.
The world doesn't fit in boxes, so why should your news? From battlefields to negotiation tables, from internet outrage to real-world injustice. The conversations everyone is having and the ones they're avoiding. It's the same show, but this new year, First Post America gets a new look. I'm Kerry Johnston, and this is First Post America.